Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Your Golden Nugget. Today, we're going to work with the trim function in Excel. And what that's for is if you've ever had extra spaces in your data. Let's say that you have a list of names and you're sorting it, and it's really not working properly. You've got something that starts with P up at the very top, and then it's A, B, C, D, or whatever. Like, what? What's going on? Perhaps there was an extra space that was typed in. Or maybe when you exported information, sometimes that happens too. If you take it out of your accounting program or something, it comes in with extra spaces. Also, what happens if somebody was inconsistently typing 2 spaces between things? That could mess you up a little bit as well. So what we're going to work with is trim, and we're going to do that exact thing. We're going to go in and sort a list and see how it doesn't sort properly, and we're going to figure out why and how to fix it. So let's get started. So what we've got here is a nice little spreadsheet, and you'll see I've got some names here. Now I'd love to be able to sort them. So I want us to keep an eye on this Dustin. Currently he's in 2nd position. Spencer should go down below. And I also want you to keep an eye on Julian. So keep an eye on those 2, and I'm just going to go over here and sort. Now, do I need to be selecting or anything? Probably not. How do I know that name, which is my heading, isn't going to appear in the ends? Well, because it's bold. Sometimes it's smart enough to know that. So I'm going to click over here. I'm going to go sort and filter, and then sort A to Z. Remember, watch for Dustin. Now look at where Dustin and Julian show up. Before A? Really? That doesn't really make sense, does it? Now, I usually will flip my list into a table, and it's about time to do that. So Control T, make it a table. See how it did determine that my table has a header. Sometimes it doesn't. You have to tell it that. I'm going to click on it. This just makes things a little bit easier going forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select it. Remember, I had the little hangy arrow at the top. We talk about tables in our Beyond the Basics course, and that just selects them all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Home here, and I'm going to stop them from being centered. I'm going to left align them, just so that maybe you can get an idea about how come Dustin and Julian ended up at the top. Can you see there? They have spaces in front. So rather than us going in and clicking and deleting the space and all that, we've got something called trim. So I'm going to go to the next one here. I'm going to go into column B. Not going to go, there's no button that you can just select and click on here. It's got to be a function. I'm going to go to FX here, and I'm going to change my category to all, and then I'm going to type trim. I typed TRI, and it took me exactly there. Sometimes if you just hit T or TR, it won't, but I always do the first 3 letters. Click OK. Now, all it's asking here is, what would you like me to trim? Which text? I'm going to say Dustin. And then because I have it in a table, as soon as I click OK here, it's going to go all the way down and fill in the formula. Now, let's read about it a little bit. This will remove all the spaces from a text string, except for the single spaces between the words, which is great. We don't want to get rid of all the spaces, just any extra spaces between our words and at the beginning and at the end. So I'm going to click OK. Because it's a table, it fills it in all the way down. Excellent. My function here, my formula bar says equals trim at name. So these cells are called name at name because I made them a table. Otherwise it would say A2 or whatever. So if we now wanted to clean this up a little bit, we really don't need this column anymore, do we? Could we delete that column? Not really. Our other column is relying on that one. So I'm going to undo that. So column B, it is relying on column A. So what I want to do is I want to select these guys. I'm going to go up to copy, and then right on top of them, I'm not just going to go paste. I'm going to go to the little drop down here, and I'm going to go paste values. Paste values. So if I click on it, Dustin, it just has his name. It doesn't say equals trim at name anymore. So I'm going to select all these guys, click on them again, and I'm going to use my move cursor, drag it over. It says, hey, there's already data here. Yep, that's okay. I know what I'm doing. And now I can go in and delete column B. I could have deleted column A as well. Really, at that point, they were exactly the same, but I wanted to keep A1. I don't like to have to type my heading in again. So now, if we sort them, I go over to Sort and Filter. Yay! Dustin appears where he should. So does Julian. And life is good. So, think about trim. Trim will get rid of the extra spaces that you have and trailing space at the end or leading space at the beginning. Hope you like that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.